guys, I hope you're having a lovely day so far. I've been receiving a few text messages asking me about mRNA and what I mean when I say mRNA vaccine. It's a bit silly of me to not have spoken about this sooner, but big thank you to all of you who took the time and effort to actually write to me and bring it to my notice that, Debbie, you need to explain what an mRNA is. So that's why I'm here today. Anyway, to explain what this is, I'll have to get into a bit of cell biology basics. So, a couple of things you need to understand. Firstly, what is DNA? So, if you don't know what a DNA is, it is the blueprint of our existence. And it has the information for everything, head to toe, how our hair is supposed to look, what color, what texture, how our skin, what the color of our skin would be, the texture of our skin, the color of our eyes, everything, like, height and how we'd look and everything. Okay, so for the general process inside the body is like every cell has DNA, and our bodies are constantly working in making something or maintaining something 24 hours a day. Every second, this entire big massive process is happening in our cells, right? So the first step is where the body identifies that something is required. Okay, it finds that section of the DNA which codes for exactly that purpose. So I think it would be better if I explain it with an example. Let's consider we had a tiny, like a scratch, all right? And like you see your body healing over time. So what happens is, well, there's a whole other side of immunology that's happening there as well, but I'm just going to talk about basic cell biology. So your body realizes that, oh hey, we have a scratch here and we got to make up more cells to help heal that area and make it look like normal skin cells again. So firstly, the section of the DNA that codes for skin related things will start getting transcribed. So it'll start making these tiny bits of mRNA. Say one piece of mRNA codes for the structure of the new cells that are going to be made. The other one codes for the internal contents of the new cells that are going to be made, and so on, right? So that now coming to stage 2 is from mRNA, it has to make these proteins. So obviously the cell membrane and all the contents inside it are all proteins. So RNA gets translated into proteins. So now all these tiny bits of RNA that were created in the previous step will all get translated into these different kinds of proteins like cell membrane, internal cell structures, internal cell organelles, everything. Okay. Now with the mRNA vaccine, I'm speaking specifically about SARS-CoV-2, which is our COVID-19. So scientists have managed to understand the structure of the virus and how it connects or how it enters our body. So I've explained about this in one of my previous posts, but just in case you missed it, the basic technique of the virus is the virus expresses something on its surface called the spike protein, and the cells in our bodies express something called the ACE2 protein. Now when the spike protein comes in contact with the ACE2, they bind, and that's how the virus gets into our body. So what scientists have managed to do is they have managed to extract the mRNA section of this spike protein. So just like I explained, our bodies have these cells, and every cell has like DNA. DNA gets transcribed into RNA. RNA gets translated into protein. The virus has its own set of DNA, and of course its DNA also has the blueprint for its entire structure and functionality. But what scientists are using here is only the RNA that codes for the spike 2 protein, not the entire virus structure, just the spike 2 protein. Alright, so they have been successful in isolating the RNA that codes for spike 2 protein, and that is what is being injected into our bodies through the vaccine, with some other factors to support the entrance of this mRNA into the body. So now what happens when the mRNA, the spike 2 mRNA, is injected in? Our body starts translating the mRNA sequences into proteins. So our body actually starts making the spike 2 protein bits of it, not the entire thing, but bits of it. And once that happens, your body is smart enough to understand that, hey, this doesn't belong here, you know. So it starts, it actually, activates an immune response immediately. And because the spike 2 protein is only a tiny section, it's not like it can fight back or do anything with the immune system. Our immune system has an upper hand here, where it can tackle the protein and destroy it immediately. Another thing you should know about our immune system is that once it has attacked something, some external factor, it remembers. Our immune system has a memory. So we have these cells that were specially created to attack this external thing. In this case, it would be the spike 2 protein. Our body saves a few copies of those cells floating around, and whenever in the future we come in contact with a spike 2 protein, your body would recognize it, and those special cells we'd already have them ready to attack, and it would be so much easier for the body, because the immune system doesn't have to understand this virus anymore. It has these antigens, it has the cells that it previously made when designing an immune response towards the bits of spike 2 protein. And so it's so much easier for us to tackle the virus when we actually get exposed to the real virus. So that's the whole working of the virus. In saying that, I hope I've made it clear that with the mRNA vaccine, it's not like the entire virus is being injected into you. It's a tiny portion of the virus which can do nothing on its own. Like the spike 2 protein can do nothing on its own. It's just a means in reality to just connect with the ACE2 protein in our body and enter. So the vaccine is not giving you the virus, it's only giving you a part of the virus, and just enough to create an immune response in your body, so that when you're exposed to the real virus, your body will be easily able to fight against it, and you would recover from the disease so much quicker than if you did not have the vaccination. That's about it. If there was anything that went please let me know. I'd be so happy to break it down even further and explain it to you. Um, and I hope you enjoyed this bit of information. See you.